Monday, July 25th, 2011, and I finally get to Salisbury 1 month after the summer solstice, but that's been purely down to the weather down this way, which, as you can see today, is absolutely delightful. Perfect. It's going to hit 70 odd today, 25 degrees. So I'm about to do book free walk 67, Salisbury to Stonehenge via Amesbury, or sorry, Salisbury to Amesbury via Stonehenge, let's get it right, which is about 15 miles. Should take about 6 hours. It's now 12 o'clock noon, having just disembarked off the 10:20 from Waterloo. So yeah, let's see what pans out. 10 minutes in, get a feel for the age of the place as we head towards the High Street. King's Head Inn, situated next to the River Avon here. Continuing to head down the High Street. Obviously nowhere near enough time to catch anything other than a few glimpses of the history of Salisbury. So I'm just going to have a quick look at the cathedral and then get out of this town. Very busy today, as was the train down. It's the first sort of weekday of the summer holidays. Kids everywhere. They should have child-free zones on the train, in my opinion. But there you go. Self-explanatory information board there. And there she blows. The tallest cathedral spire in Britain, by all accounts. Work's going on here to the back. What a glorious day, eh? Worth waiting for. Okay, information here about the major repair programme that we've just seen. Started in '86 and isn't due to finish until 2015. Amazing. Pretty impressive front here. Our onward journey's over that way towards the river. There's a bit of a breeze today, so which you may have heard already, so I might have to get the old canceller out. From this position we are standing in presently, this was the inspiration for Constable to do his painting, as seen there. Do like John Constable, mainly because he does landscapes. Makes sense, I guess. Looks like the riverside walk is now called the Avon Valley Path. In front of this impressively decorated house. Okay, I'm now on the riverside walk. A bit confusing in trying to get here, but don't follow the signs for the Avon Valley walk, because that takes you over a bridge opposite the general stores, and it's difficult to find out where to go after that. So here we are, we're on the walk, running a bit behind schedule, but this should take us up to Old Sarum now. Okay, after a bit of a palaver getting here, I've finally got to Old Sarum. The riverside walk I was taking was going in the wrong direction, so I've had to reroute myself, and hopefully now I'm back on course. 5,000 years of history apparently. Looking back towards Salisbury from the entrance of the royal castle. Bloody damn noisy foreigners. Jesus. One problem with coming out today, clearly. Bishops and their cathedral, ruins of which are over there.
Come on, yeah.
Just a little reminder that we're in a military zone here, just to the north of us. Okay, it's now 2 o'clock, so because I'm running in arrears, I'm going to take my lunch here rather than wait for the recommended village stop. A view back towards Old Sarum and the remnants of the cathedral. Lunch has been had now. 2:20. Need to get my pace on. Causeway crossing the ramparts, where we turn right in a moment and then go through a gate. Looking back towards Salisbury and some of its surrounding countryside. From the outer rampart. Point 4, about to descend sharply to the left to the road below. And just as the weathermen predicted, starting to cloud over. This is looking northeast. Piggeries over there, or protection for the pigs in the midday sun. I presume that is. Following the NCN 45 northwards. Looking back at the outer ramparts from said point. One last glimpse back at Old Sarum from a point near Keeper's Cottage mentioned in the text. Stood next to a field of what looks like old flax. Okay, so here we are at the pleasantly situated Keeper's Cottage, and whereupon you have a number of options. You can go straight on to save 2 kilometres and miss the scenic route to the lunchtime pub, which is down the tree-lined avenue there, and that is the route I will take, despite running about an hour late. So let's see what it holds. So here we are, Little Durnford Manor, and we're going to pass through that white gate over there, apparently. Having just left the very scenic avenue. Not every day you see a camel out in the Wiltshire countryside. Didn't see one of those last week at Woburn. Alopecias as well, or whatever they're called. Yeah, you got more of them there. in a field with one little donkey. Evidence of the River Avon flooding there. Delightful down here. River Avon, very quaint English pastoral scene, sort of thing Constable would have liked. Cockerels in the background as well. How's about that? Right, the instructions have been quite confusing all the way so far, to be honest with you. Just passed over one stone bridge. I'm now at the second stone bridge, and the white gate has obviously been replaced, and I'm now going across this permissive footpath. Over that way. So here we are in Lower Woodford. It's 3:30, and we have the Wheatsheaf Inn, which is a hall and woodhouse pub. And has an extensive garden to the rear. Independent family brewers since 1777 by all accounts. And from another angle. Just opposite the pub, funnily enough, it's one of those thatched walls. Thatch and flint being local materials around here, clearly. The Avon's much smaller at this point. Larger here though, and we're still outside Lower Woodford. View back towards Lower Woodford from the point just before turning right to Salterton Farm. And after last week's bison, these cows are relatively minor. Oh, here we have Eddie's Bench, 57 to 2004. A seat for you to sit and ponder, where I like to walk and wander. And a fine view he had. Yeah, look at that, eh? About 125 metres up here, so 400 foot thereabouts. Still no corn cut down this way, I noticed. Following the wooded path down towards the hamlet of Netton. Some great examples of ferns and lichens in here, accompanied by that lovely pink flower there. Right, that's the remnants of Cabbage Cottage next to the Wesleyan Chapel here, dated 1895. The Bridge Inn at Upper Woodford. Very nice riverside garden as well. I just noticed some brown trout in this section of the Avon, so it must be quite clean. Interesting National Cycle Network post there. Salisbury 5.5, Amesbury 4.5, which is obviously where I'm headed. Just opposite the bridge inn. Okay, turning right here at Shepherd's Close House, which that is. To go right down this gravel footpath. The path just outside Upper Woodford, headed north. Plenty of storm flies around at the moment, all over me, annoyingly. But thus far the weather's held out, which is brilliant. The weir at Great Durnford. I don't think I'm going to bother going to look at the Black Horse pub because it'll be closed, and I haven't got time. Delightful view here though. It's just started spitting. Now, me having earlier said that I hadn't seen any corn being cut down here, lo and behold, there's a field being done up there. Tell by the dust. This little shower won't stop that. Okay, just as the Rye Tenterton walk took us past McCartney country, apparently that mansion in front of me there is Sting's residence at Lake. Sting of the Police fame. Very nice as well. There's the remnants of the small well house mentioned in the text, next to a delightful field of buttercups. And I can hear a buzzard somewhere in the background, but I cannot see it. Up over there somewhere. There it is, just above the trees. Well, once again, can't avoid death on my walks. Clearly the old gamekeeper's been busy here putting these crows up on the fence, because I've seen a number of them hanging. Born into the others, I guess. A bit like the old gamekeeper's larder. Yeah, see, all along the fence. Very wide byway this, as it says in the text. Easy walking, grassy underfoot. The well-positioned Spring Bottom farm. After which we go up onto Normanton Down for hopefully a good view of Stonehenge. Continued easy walking towards Normanton Down. And in the distance there you can see its burial mound. Very still here at the moment. Modern day sheep rustling over there. Got the old dog running around, the jeep. Not rustling, but shepherding. Enough of them. There's the old shepherd. One man and his dog. Except there's two men, a dog and a jeep. Information board here about the RSPB's Normanton Down Nature Reserve, where you can see lapwing, cowslips and brown hare in season. A number of those burial mounds around about as well, including just behind me. And just in the very distance there are the stones of Stonehenge, along with all those hordes of tourists, and the busy A30 is it? I can't remember. Soon find out. And here we have the National Trust's information board about the Stonehenge estate, the Normanton Down Barrows, which have been here for several thousand years before the birth of Christ. So here we are at the juncture, Stonehenge Down, National Trust property, and now a lot clearer in the distance is Stonehenge. Okay, a decision has to be made at this point whether to turn right towards Stonehenge or go left directly to Amesbury, 2 3/4 miles. It's now 20 to 6, so it's quite late, and because I've got an hour and 20 minutes journey to get back to London, I think I'm going to do the permissive route straight through to Amesbury. Not particularly interested in Stonehenge per se and all its tourist crowds. I've got a shot of it on camera anyway, so that's the main thing. And there's one more for luck. And from another angle. Fantastic collection of tweezel here, I think it is. And in the distance, Stonehenge from yet another angle. The cathedral of its day, I guess. Okay, so apparently I'm now at Conyberry Hill, approaching West Amesbury, and by all accounts this provides a different perspective or panorama of Stonehenge. Just in the distance there. You've still got barrows even round here, ahead of me there. Crossing the Avon again, this time at Amesbury. The old bridge just on the left hand side. Well, it's actually called the Queensbury Bridge, built in 1775 by the 3rd Duke of Queensbury. Don't know if he's any relation to the guy that invented boxing rules. Just by the bridge you've got this Women's Institute Jubilee 1965 old metal seat. Rather interesting church here at Amesbury. No board to tell me the name of it, but it's next to the Abbey. There you go, St Mary and St Melaw. And that is indeed the time, 6:30. So my prediction of being back at Salisbury station by now is well out. No probs. Okay, I'm having to record the finale to that walk at London Waterloo because I got to Salisbury around 7:30 and the train was just pulling in. So here I am, just about 9 o'clock, back at Waterloo. That was a very nice walk, particularly once out of Salisbury and its tourist hordes. Salisbury itself is a very lovely city. Take the tourists out and it'll be great. Beautiful city. But as I say, unfortunately I hit it at the wrong time. Today being the first day of the summer holidays. So yeah, a delightful walk from Old Sarum onwards. Didn't bother with Stonehenge itself again because of the tourist hordes, but the walk, the alternative back to Amesbury via West Amesbury was pleasant enough, and the bus was waiting for me as I pulled into Amesbury, so I had a bit of luck there, was able to catch up the time that I lost earlier in the day. So that's book 3 walk 67, Salisbury to Stonehenge via Amesbury, oh sorry, still haven't got the title right, have I? Salisbury to Amesbury via Stonehenge completed.